The last chapter ended with Mina unexpectedly helping Kafka before he gets beaten down by Nine. Will the combined force of the two ultimate childhood friends be enough to stop the evolved monster that is Kaiju No. 9? Let's find out. In the next scene, we suddenly went back to a time when Kafka and Mina were children, and Mina asked Kafka what kind of troop member he wanted to be. Kafka thought about it and soon excitedly said that he would wear his battle suit and achieve a record-breaking 99% released force. He added that he also wanted to be a master swordsman and the strongest gunner. He would defeat 10,000 monsters and become the popular commander for 10 consecutive years. Mina was speechless and asked what kind of corny, made-up story that was, commenting on how childish Kafka was, which irritated Kafka, who then asked her what she wanted. Mina responded that she wanted to save many lives. This included troop members, civilians, and even their pets, and no one under her deployment would die. That was the kind of trooper she wanted to be. Kafka stared at her, and soon sarcastically said while picking his nose that it seemed unrealistic that no one would die, which annoyed Mina, who retorted by asking what does he know about being realistic. Because of this, Kafka tried to calm her down and said they should make it happen, capturing her attention. He added that he knows that the two of them can become a troop member and make the things they talked about happen. After that, we return to the present where Kafka is just staring at Mina as she approaches him. They looked at each other and faced in the same direction, and just as Kafka was about to speak, Mina abruptly called him a liar, which made him dumbfounded and shut up. Mina explained that he had said he would catch up right away, and she thought Kafka might not show up again. This left Kafka even more speechless, and he just apologized, with Mina pointing out that even when they were on the rooftop, he did not rely on her help. This led Mina to question if Kafka wanted to keep things to himself, making him nervous. Soon after, he agreed with Mina but explained that Reno had helped him realize that wasn't going to work. Mina seemed jealous when she heard this because Kafka had asked Reno for help, but not her. Kafka apologized again, saying it was not just for being late, but also because the person he is now isn't the one he expected. Mina looked at him, and while recalling what she had seen inside Nine, she said she hadn't become the type of adult she had imagined she would be either. But even so, they needed to continue. Suddenly, the debris in front of them exploded loudly, and Nine was standing up again. Kafka slapped his own face to regain his composure, and warned Mina that the monster was coming again. As Kafka stared seriously, Mina called out to him and thanked him for being there by her side. Kafka's eyes widened at this, and he remembered what he had told Mina about his dreams. An unleashed combat power of 99%, being a master blade wielder, and being the strongest sharpshooter around. In his mind, he acknowledged that none of this childhood dreams came true, but there was still one left. One last promise, to be with and beside Mina in battle. Mina urged him to charge, and he agreed, and as they remembered their childhood promises, they shouted together that they would exterminate all the monsters together, and they prepared to confront the formidable Monster 9. They declared together that they would now subjugate Kaiju No. 9. Everyone watching and monitoring them heard this, and they immediately charged at Nine. Nine launched two powerful invisible bullets at them, but Kafka dodged them by jumping. He remembered their plan and explained to Mina that they had two techniques unknown to Nine, which could drill into the core of the beast and secure their victory. Otherwise, they knew what the outcome would be. Mina looked at him and said she understood, and she would provide cover while Kafka handled its shield. She asked Kafka to put everything he's got into hitting the core, and we go back to the present where Kafka is charging a punch towards Nine. Nine caught Kafka's punch with another punch that created a strong shockwave. When Nine was about to launch another invisible bullet attack, Mina managed to explode his hand before it happened. Nine immediately launched a barrage of counterattacks, but Mina easily dodged them. When the monster wasn't looking, Kafka charged again and delivered a solid right straight, shattering the hand Nine used to block. As a counter, Nine was about to launch an energy blast from his mouth, but Mina continuously disrupted him from a distance with a barrage of projectile attacks. Because of this, Kafka managed to kick Nine away, and Okanaji was amazed by Mina's strength and perfect accuracy with her cover fire. An assistant in the control room commented that her approach now compared to when she's teamed up with Hashina is like night and day, and they're witnessing a completely different side of her. Nagazaka thought to himself that the course of the battle had changed now that Kafka had support, and he was able to use techniques he had previously shown. He silently cheered them on in his mind, thinking that they should use the momentum they got and force their way through. The surroundings began to crackle, and some electricity emerged from Nine's body, prompting the assistant to warn that number 2's shockwave was approaching. Kafka jumped upon hearing this, and Nine unleashed a powerful shockwave that devastated the surrounding area. Kafka delivered a downward kick after jumping, but Nine managed to block it. Another assistant was amazed, commenting that Nine was not the only one learning during the battle. Nine quickly retreated to prepare for an attack using one of Isao's techniques, but Kafka quickly moved to close the distance. In Keiji's mind, he noted that Nine had also learned that technique during his fight with Isao. Suddenly, Nine's tail charged with electricity, catching Kafka and Keiji's attention. Nine used his tail as a whip and unleashed a powerful shockwave over a large area, forcing Kafka and Mina to defend themselves. An assistant was confused by this attack as it wasn't in their data on 9 and 2, leading to a question about how many abilities 9 still had. Mina suddenly remembered what she saw while being consumed by 9, and quickly informed Kafka that there were countless monsters inside 9, and while she didn't know what they were, they should be careful as there might be secret abilities. Kafka and Mina charged together at the giant beast, pushing themselves as far as they could. However, Nine's strength was so great that he pinned them both against the wall and the floor, causing them to spit blood. The young girl watching them was visibly worried, and frighteningly, Nine stood up after pinning them down. Nagazaka also worried, noting that they hadn't managed it, and Keiji thought that even with the combined strength of Mina and Kafka, they couldn't defeat him. An assistant then speculated that this might be the limit of their power. Suddenly, Kafka spoke up, agreeing with Nine. He said this was an opponent that even he and Narumi couldn't match at the time. Kafka remembered Hashina's reminder not to reveal their technique even to Mina, and said that hand-to-hand combat was something he had also kept from Mina, but now, it was something he had even kept from Hashina. His most secret move. It turned out he had studied this move with Narumi, and he explained in his mind that he had 1 minute of control. Kafka spoke to the parasite, 8, saying he knew it loved to kill, and he would unleash it. He unleashed the rampage mode of Kaiju number 8, which he had learned to tame to prevent losing control.